morning so far. There's a saying in New England that if you don't like the weather, wait 5 minutes, it'll change. And it is certainly one of those days. So today we're talking about cold weather and how that affects your munchiness and your desire for comfort food and how you can keep that at bay. So today's a perfect day to talk about that with this weather that we're having. I woke up this morning, there was snow on the ground, and now it is raining. There was ice in the middle. My morning got off to kind of an odd start because all of our local schools were on a 2-hour delay, but my son's school wasn't. So no bus for him this morning, which meant he had to take the mom bus to school. I had to figure out how I was going to get my breakfast in 5 minutes instead of my usual time. So it's always good to have a plan B. How do you deal with surprises in your routine? I peeled a couple of boiled eggs, had some raspberries, heated up my tea, and off we went. Of course, I've been doing this for many years, so I have those plan B skills. The key for you to be successful is to start practicing them. It won't always be perfect. It won't always even feel right, but dig right in and make some changes, and you'll be amazed at what the results will look like. How does the weather impact your desire for food, your eating habits? I've talked many times this winter, because we've had some cold days, about how it spurs my desire for comfort foods. And I like something warm and cozy. And sometimes that's not always healthy. It's not always what I intended to eat. So I took a flavor course recently and learned that not only do the different flavors we have functional uses, but they also have impacts on how we perceive being satisfied in a meal. So one of the most fascinating things that I found out is that bitters, the flavor of bitters, helps you punctuate the end of your meal and send a signal that you're done. And it's, you're done. There's no need to look around for more food. There's no need to look for that bite of chocolate or more, as the case may be. And you can move on to your next thing. So I started playing around with that and having something bitter at the end of my meals. At dinner time in the evening, it means I pour myself a glass of bitters, a liqueur, an Amaro. There are a variety of different kinds. They're all have herbal flavors to them. And that's all detoxifying, and it closes out the meal. And for me, that makes a huge difference. During the day, I'm unlikely to pour myself a glass of liqueur, but what do? Well, I can incorporate arugula into my greens. That's a great bitter. And I can find other foods that have a bitter component to them at the end of a meal or during a meal. So for example, an apple, we often think of an apple as being just sweet, but the peel itself is bitter. And so we get the sweet and the bitter together, and depending upon what kind of an apple, sometimes sour too. So grab one of those, and it will help punctuate the end of the meal, kind of stop the munchies, stop you from roaming around. If you do find yourself still looking for something else, you may want to take a breath and think, am I bored? Am I looking for something to do? Is this habit? Or am I truly wanting something else to eat? And that is the question that I will challenge you to wrestle with this week. So see what you can find for bitter flavors to add to your meals to complete the flavor profile. They will help your feeling of being satisfied. And then at the same time, if you are still wandering around looking for food, tell me, what is the answer to that question? What are you looking for? So take a couple of minutes to sit with that this week. I would like to invite you to join the conversation in Never Diet Again, my free group. And the link is on this post. and we have lots of fun in there. And I would love to hear your thoughts about the ending of a meal as well. So until next week, what I hope for you is that you live a life you love without being hungry, feeling deprived, or giving up your glass of wine with dinner, and without needing 26 hours in your day. Until next week, ciao.